Hi guys, welcome to another lovely episode. Today we are playing Freedom Fighters. We're going to be marching around Lake Merritt, and we're going to be protesting against police brutality and racism in America. And we're starting at the Grand Advent Church in Oakland, California, and we're going to end up at the, what's it called? What's this place called? The amphitheater. And Oscar Grant's mother is supposed to be a speaker. It's supposed to be a really awesome and wholesome, hopefully, experience.
So we ended up meeting in the parking lot of this church that sometimes Storm and I go to. But it's right next to Lake Merritt, which is super convenient, I guess. And then we ended up holding like a little practice session before we would go out and hit the streets.
Anna Taylor!
Black lives, you say matter! Black lives!
Matter! Matter!
When I say whose streets, you say our streets. Whose streets?
Our streets! Our streets!
Alright, so you guys get the hang of it.
Yeah. Alright everybody, we're about to head on out, hit the streets with our signs. Guess who's leading us? This guy right here. You got it, Storm. You got it, Storm. You got it, Storm.
What do we want?
Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice!
When do we want it?
Now! Now!
You got to get louder, bro. We can't hear you. They need somebody with a big mouth.
So yes, eventually Storm did get much louder on the megaphone, but the horns honking, that was pretty common as we were marching. It was cool to see everyone's support. It was also pretty cool to see just the bystanders and how some of them would stand with their fists raised in the air, or some of them would film, some of them would make their own videos. It was really cool. It was a great experience.
Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Matter! 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 And I promise him that I'm gonna serve him till I die. Either one.
Yeah.
There we go. No peace. Police. Police. No peace. No peace. Police. Police. Our streets. I'm gonna have a sore voice after this. Our streets. Our streets.
Our street!
Hey, hey!
These racist cops
Has got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops has got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops has got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! Say his name! 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 Breonna Taylor, say her name! No justice.
No peace.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives.
Matter.
All right. Thank you so much for marching with us. If you want some water, it's right here at the blue tent to my left. If you want some snacks, just because blue.
And an officer who had hate in his heart.
Mm.
And I say that to say that when we look at our system is designed to do what it's doing. I begin to say, God, not my will, but whatever your will concerning Oscar. And don't you know that that's a hard prayer to pray for your child? Because who wants to lose a child? Who wants to even have a child shot? And I began to pray that as the nurse came in or the social worker came in, she told me that Oscar was in really bad shape. That the bullet had blew one of his lungs out, and it hit the concrete and it came back in and it just put holes in him inside all over his body. So the more blood that they tried to transfuse him with, the more blood came out of him in all different places because the fragments from the bullets had caused holes in his internal organs all over the place. When I walked out of the room for a minute, I grabbed everybody's hands and we began to pray. And as we prayed, the nurse came back and called me back into the room where they tried to revive Oscar. And they couldn't revive him because they couldn't get the bleeding to stop. And so he passed away. And I'm saying all this to say, we need to vote from the bottom up. And the reason why we need to vote from the bottom up is because we need to be in our city council meetings. We need to be in our board of education meetings. We need to know who we're putting in office, our district attorneys. And when they're not the right people who are not going to serve, if they're not going to serve the community, then they do not deserve to be in office.
That's right.
So your vote matters.
Yeah.
You may not think it matters, but your vote matters. It's important for us today to recognize that we have power within us. And that power is from God. Yes, we pray. Yes, we pray. And we often use that and say, well, I'm just going to pray about the situation. Well, I want to bring a charge to you today. Even though you may not see the killing or the shooting, you have a right to take action to turn that situation around. I want to encourage you today. Don't just listen to what the news say, because when it comes to the African American and brown people, one of the first things that the media is going to do oftentimes is demonize that person. And so when Oscar was killed, they knew nothing about Oscar. They knew nothing about Trayvon Martin. They knew nothing about Tamir Rice. They knew nothing about George Floyd. They knew nothing about these people, but yet they lost their lives. And we have to turn that stigma around. It is important for us to not just pray, but if we don't have any action, faith without works is dead.
Yes.
So you have to believe, if you're praying, that God is also giving you something to do in the midst of that praying.
That's right. Yes.
And so I want to encourage you today. Don't just stop with the marching on today. Keep pressing. Keep fighting for change. Keep working to end the systemic racism.
Yeah.
Keep working to end our young men and women get incarcerated at the highest rates that they're getting incarcerated. You know, they talked about that there's two pandemics going on. They said it's the pandemic of COVID and the pandemic of racism. The Don't just let today be the only day that you fight for justice for our people. So I submit to you today, keep fighting, keep pushing, keep pressing. So the stronghold of racism, the stronghold of hatred, the stronghold of jealousy, all those walls have to come down. Keep fighting for equal rights for all. Let liberty become balanced once again. Thank you.
It was a very emotional day. Definitely some highs, some lows. Very reflective. I have no regrets of doing it, even during this pandemic. I'm glad I wore a mask. But it was a really special day with a very special speaker. And I'm just grateful to everybody that helped to put on the protest. And we will be having more in the future. So look out for that. I will also have a lot of links in the description box below, just in case you guys are interested in giving back to the Black Lives Matter movement or the Oscar Grant Foundation or anything involving social justice issues. Thank you for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.